lovers, hello Zitandwa. It's your girl Sister Love back on your screen. I'm back. And it's Monday evening after a 12-hour shift at work. Excuse me. Whew, I got some tea to spill. That's why I'm drinking tea. So it's a bit hot. I'm gonna put it down before it burns me. But hopefully I'll remember that I need to drink the tea. So basically today's video is a video that I had hoped that I was going to post on Friday, but for whatever reason that did not happen, and life happens. I was just not feeling in the right state of mind to do so, but here he is. Woo, guys, where do I even begin? You know, when they speak about people that have dated a lot, I fall in that category. I have dated quite a number of people. Not in a braggy kind of way, it's just the way life worked out. It's my attachment issues, it's the stuff that I'm working on. It's the reason why I'm single for the year 2021. But we're not there. There was a relationship. And when I think about this relationship, sometimes I laugh at myself because I'm like, Tandega, what were you thinking? Like, for reals? So I'm going to call the person Christina. I think if you've been my Facebook friend for quite a few years, you wouldn't know the Christina era, which was in 2015. But yeah, that's where it started in first year. Long after my friends had met her and had told me all about her. Because the community is so small that it ends up being a situation whereby you like, yo, TJ, do you know so-and-so? And I'm like, who? Like, no, they work here and here and here, whatever. And then I got excited. I always get excited about seeing family members, and I always consider queer people, family members. Even if, like, I suspect that you're queer, I'm just like, ooh, family, and I get excited. That's just how I am. So I met this human in first year, which was 2013. And I would intermittently see her, like, so when we were doing rotation as students, we would end up going to pediatric wards at least once every year. Yeah. Our first meeting was not significant. It was nothing amazing. I just remember her teaching us a condition in her ward that they were used to dealing with, and then she was telling us the signs and symptoms, and from there I was like, oh, she loves to teach. And that for me was like, oh, amazing. So I loved her as a professional nurse. 1 year I was rotating in pediatric wards, but it so happened that every time I was working in her ward, she was either about to go on leave or she would be on leave, so I'd often miss her. So fine, in third year, it was, I think, towards around August, September. Yeah, it was around August, September when I was preparing for my ward round, which is this major practical exam that killed me. But that's because I get super worked up. On this particular day, I was going to the ward where I would be doing my ward round, and I happened to bump into her. And when I bumped into her, very excited, I hadn't seen her in months, I think, because in third year we were hardly at the hospital because of the curriculum. So then I bumped into her and I was super excited. I remember my one friend Emma was with me, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's Christina. But now I didn't want to shout and say, hey Christina, I see you, luckily. So I was like, I'm not gonna scream her name, I'm not gonna be like Christina. We were in the corridor on 6th floor at Charlotte McLean. So I'm like, oh, dogs. So then I'm like, and then luckily she saw someone that she knows. So then she stopped to have a chat with them. And then myself and my friend carried on walking, and we went past them. My friend then took the stairs because she was going to level 7, and I was staying on level 6. So I was then walking, and then she caught up with me. And then we were greeting. I'm like, hi, how are you? I'm good. Oh my gosh, I haven't seen you in so long. Oh my gosh, I haven't seen you in so long. Oh my, that whole bang. And then she says to me, she said the weirdest thing. She's like, may I please have your number, so that when you're married and you have a husband, we can have a chat or whatever. It was weird. Like, it was a weird little statement that she said. Like, her way, or the way she went about getting my number was just weird. So then I was like, oh, okay, cool. 08 4. And then she goes, no, please call me in the ward and then give me the number. I'm like, cool. I go to the ward, I get busy, I completely forget the whole situation. Because at this point, she's just a person I know. There's nothing at this point. Like, yes, she's hot. Whew, she is hot. Christina is hot, guys. Like, she hot. She's very hot. So, obviously, I know that. But apart from the physical, I didn't know much about her or anything like that. So then I'm like, okay. So then I completely forget about it. And then around 4:30 that afternoon, I'm like, I remember and I call the ward. And lo and behold, who answers the phone? So I'm like, hey, my number is 084. No. And she's like, okay, cool. And then I repeat it again. And then I say bye, drop the phone, and I head on out because I was living at Riz. I take myself to Riz, and before I even get out the hospital, I get a hey. Hey, how are you? And like, it's so and so. And I'm like, oh yeah, sure. How are you? And like, no, I'm good. And then we start talking. And then before we know it, things happened. A relationship formed. And at this point, the person told me that they were in a relationship and so on and so forth. So I was like, okay. And told me what the relationship was like, which I won't, me choosing myself, basically. So she tells me, and I'm just like, okay, now I'm at that particular point in time, I was 25 years old, and I was of the opinion that relationships are comes and goes. If it lasts, yay. If it doesn't last, oh well, we tried. So I'm like to her, you have a person. I think I also had a girlfriend at the time. Yeah, I did. But my relationship was very rocky. And I'd just gotten back with my girlfriend at the time, actually. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm going to have a conversation with this one. So we're having conversation. It's all good. It's all great. And whatever. And feelings, obviously, start brewing. This person I'm seeing almost every day. If she's at work, I'm making sure that I go and visit and all of those things. Sharp. We start a relationship. And in my mind, and this is like the honest truth, in my mind, I was like, this is going to be a fling. Because it happened around September, October. So I was like, it's going to be a fling. We're going to have a good time. And then December's going to come. So I was like, we're going to have a good time. And then come January, it ends. And I find myself a partner that I'm going to be focusing on. It's gonna just be she and I and whatever. Okay. Guys, did I not find myself 4 years later in a relationship as a side person for 4 years? And the reason it worked out, I must say, the reason it worked out was because I was in 3rd year of nursing college, and nursing is both practical and theoretical. So we spent a lot of time in practical settings. So I was often really, really busy. And then in 4th year, I decided to become a member of the Student Representative Council, and I was also a member of the EXCO of that committee. So I was really busy. So those 2 years, I didn't even feel them. To be honest with you, it worked out well because she understood my schedule. All great and dandy. When I started feeling it and feeling that, no, this is not the kind of relationship I want. I want more. I want a proper, this is what I want. And the person just couldn't give me that, And to be fair, I must say, at no point was there promises of leaving somebody else for somebody else. No, there was none of that. I'd be lying if I said that she made promises that she didn't keep in that regard. She did make promises that she didn't keep in the relationship, but it just happened. And so around when I was a conserve in 2017, so 15, 16, 17. Yeah, in 2017, that's when I was like, okay, now I'm free. Because now I didn't have school. It was just work, home, and good lifetimes, So I was free, and I could now realize that I want more. I In 2017, I lived at Ray's still, because I was a conserve and we hadn't been translated. And then once we got translated, I decided to move out of Ray's. Actually, like, our lease was ending, and the rule is that after your conserve year, you need to get out so that you make space for the other conserves, and so on and so forth. So I moved out and found this place, moved in here. At this particular time, the relationship is just not working out, and I am giving ultimatums. I'm just like, no. You know what? Eventually, I was like, I need to choose myself. I need to choose Uthandega, because clearly when you can't make the decision. And I was like, make the decision. Choose either. Like, either you choose to stay in the relationship. And for me, in my opinion and in my view, she did make a choice, and the choice was to stay in that relationship. And I needed to respect that, and I needed to then choose myself, in the sense that I was then saying, okay, Tandega, this does not suit you anymore. And at that time, I was like, okay, cool, peace, I'm leaving. And that's what I did. I was like, okay, since clearly you're not where I would like us to be, and this is no longer serving me, the 4 months that has now turned into 4 years, it's just a lot. And what I want is to settle down, that whole business. So I ended the relationship. But ending a relationship with someone that you're still in love with is such a difficult thing, and I don't even want to downplay it, and I'm not holier than thou. I was wrong for being in a relationship with somebody. I take full responsibility for that, but I don't take any responsibility for being my sister's keeper. I'm not gonna lie to you. I am not gonna take responsibility for being my sister's keeper, because I don't subscribe to that notion. I would not take my friend's partner. No. I would not take my sibling's partner. No. But guys, I'm sorry. It's not me. I wish I could be like here and be like, I didn't even feel bad, because the relationship really served me, and it worked well for me when it worked well for me. And then when it didn't work well for me, I realized that I need to leave. And that's not the moral of the story and all of this. So my motivation for today is that you need to choose yourself at some point. And I know I'm not alone in having such a relationship and so on. And sometimes you just need to choose yourself, and that point in time will come to you when it comes to you. I know people that have been inside relationships for years, for a long time, and it serves them, so they don't see the need to leave. There's no need for them to change anything, and that's that. And basically that's my story time. It was basically me being a side chick for 4 years, and it was a learning opportunity. No, it was a learning. I learned a lot about myself. I learned what I can handle and what I can't handle. I also learned like really bad habits, which then impacted on my following the subsequent relationships that I had after that relationship ended. I was no longer used to being somebody's everything, or being a major part of somebody's life. So I remember one of my exes telling me, like, you behave like a side chick. And I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, no, like, you treat me like a side chick. And I'm like, what? And I didn't get it at the time, but I think when you get used to like having limited time with someone, and now you have someone who's willing to give you all their time, and now you don't know what to do with it. So like I'm unlearning all of that and trying to remember that relationships aren't meant to be that way, and relationships can be where you spend time with the person and you enjoy them, and you let them know that you enjoy time with them, and so those are the things, hey. But basically, this is just me saying I was in a really interesting side chick situation, and I survived to tell the tale. And yeah, all is well, all is good. I'm glad I chose myself. Given what I know now, would I have stayed as long as I did? I don't think so. I think I would have lived sooner. Even though it was difficult. It was so difficult. Yo, the getting over this person. I remember doing a countdown on Facebook. At some point I got to 100 and something days with us being broken up. And then I did something stupid. And then went back to square one. You guys. Yeah, ne? But in the end I did choose myself. And I continue to choose myself in all of this. I think it's so hard to end a relationship when you're still in love with someone, and I can honestly say that I don't really recommend it, but also like some people you'll never fall out of love with, but then you're not meant to be with them. So for the sake of your own sanity, you have to choose yourself, and choosing yourself means leaving even though you know you love the person, and it is what it is. So comment down below, have you ever been in a similar situation? When was the last time you chose yourself in a situation? How did that work out for you? Just leave your comment, share, subscribe, like. Let's hear it all. And yeah, it is what it is. From me, Sister Love, to you lovers, good night. Bye.